Good morning, good morning. Josh Prohibition here. I am out on beautiful Lake Erie on a late June day. I think it's a Sunday. I'm a school teacher, so every night's a Saturday night in the summer. Anyway, I have had the run of my life recently. I think the last 10 times out, I've caught my limit, I think 9. The limit here on Lake Erie for walleye is 6, and I've absolutely been crushing it. But every time I bring my GoPro out, it's been a comedy of errors. So chances are, if the GoPro actually works here, I'll probably get skunked because that's how fishing goes. But I'm going to do my best to put 6 walleye in the kayak today. What I've been doing very successfully is trolling crankbaits. So we're going to go out, see what kind of flavor they're interested in today, and hopefully put 6 walleye in the kayak. So thank you for watching, and I hope at the end of this we can talk about how good of a day it was. I swapped out hats here for my old man sun hat. When you log a lot of hours on the lake, you end up with the worst sunglass tan in the world. You look like a raccoon. But anyway, don't judge me. So we're heading out to about 30 feet of water here, and I'm going to troll some crankbaits. I'm going to start off with these Salmo free divers. We'll put them out at some different depths and see what we can get into. So I'm going to let this thing out. This one I'll do 70, the other one I'll do 80 feet out, the other one I'll do 90 feet out, and kind of see if we can kind of find where they're at and what they're looking for. So that's about 70. So what I'm going to use here today is planer boards to allow me to run 3 lines at a time, which is the max here in Ohio. I don't think you could run 4 off a kayak. It'd get real crazy. So what you do is snap it on the front one here, leave some slack, and snap it on that back one there. And what it does is it'll pull it away from the kayak, which I think does 2 things. I think it allows you to run more lines, but also I think it gets it away from the kayak, so you're less likely to spook the fish. So I let this one out about 30 feet or so off of the kayak. All right, that one's set. So now we're going to do the one on my left side here. I'll go another free diver. Reset my counter here. This counter's been a little finicky. I might have to replace it. So the one on the right there is 70 feet out. I'll try maybe 80 feet on this one, and then the last one I'll do 90 feet. There's a fish. Man, I can't even get in the water. I'm catching fish. That's crazy. All right. I think it's going to be a good day, guys. I was pretty high in the water column there. That's surprising. All right. Looks like a walleye, I think. All right, now the part that's a little challenging here is I gotta net this guy. Come here, buddy. Not huge, but definitely a good eater size. All right, there's one. 5 to go. So let me go ahead and get this guy off. All right, so I'll put this guy in my stringer here. Use my trusty fish clips. If I can get to his mouth here. Here you go. Come here. So, nice fish. Good eater. You can get him out without tearing him up too much. Come here, buddy. You're all hooked up, and there we go. Stop it. All right. Lure is free. Now, take my trusty fish stringer here. And what I like to do is I go in the top and the translucent skin there, and then through the translucent skin in the bottom jaw. And I think it keeps their mouth closed a little better. So what that allows is to kind of reduce drag as I'm out here trolling. All right, so let's get reset here. Obviously, good start. Let's do this. All right, where'd this guy go? So this was 20 feet out. Let's keep going with that. So anyway, that guy bit pretty shallow over there, so maybe I won't go as deep as I was thinking. So let me start here with like 60 feet out. There we go. Then we'll put our planer board on. Oh man, there's a lot of fish in the water right now. You quiet over there. All right, so we'll put this out about 30 feet away from the kayak. I think the other nice thing about planer boards, it allows me to kind of make sharper turns without me getting my lines all tied up. All right, so we got one in the water. Let's get our second line in the water. I keep my troll this time of year probably around like 2.2. I think it does a pretty good job of catching usually keeper-sized walleye and kind of keeps the shorter walleye and some of the garbage fish away. All right, so I'll put this one out about 70 feet. And then I'm going to clip another planer board on here. And if you want a lesson on planer boards, there's plenty of guys that are much better anglers than I am that'll give you kind of a good explanation of how to use them online. Just search up YouTube planer boards. But again, they're really a kind of an effective tool to get more lines in the water and, like I said, kind of spread your lures out. So same thing here. I'm going to let this out about 30 feet off of the kayak so that I have the ability to throw a third line in here. All right, let's get this one set up here. And we got one more line to get in the water if we can before these fish start biting. I'm going to go one more Salmo freediver here, kind of a perch color. This one's been really cleaning up lately for me. So I got 60 feet out, 70 feet out on that one. Maybe I'll do like 80 feet on this and see where we're at. And as soon as I get these in, I might actually kind of spin a U-turn and head back where I was because, I mean, really kind of incredible marks back there. All right. There, finally. We have 3 lines in the water. I have 3 different free divers out there. I'm trolling, my lure is trolling somewhere about 20 to 25 feet deep. I'm going about 2 miles per hour. And what I'm going to do here in a second, this is one of the nice things about having the planer boards, is I have the ability to kind of spin a little easier without getting my lines all crossed up. So I'm going to gradually make a U-turn here and head back to that zone where I caught that first walleye and saw, you know, a lot of marks. So we'll see how we do over there. Fish on. All right, so flag just went down. Something buried it. So we're going to try to take this flag off and get this fish in the boat. Kayak. Feels like a good fish. Alright, so here's where it gets a little sporting. You have to try to unclip this board while fighting a fish. Alright, so I'll do the back one first, maybe. There's one. Now, try to take this top one off. And try to keep a little tension on your rod here. Alright, so now it's just time to hopefully fight and land this fish. So kind of a steady retrieve here on walleye. You don't want to, let's shake there. Hope it's not a drum. A good fish. Now it's the part where you try to get them in the net. All right, there's 2. All right, 2 are going on the dinner table tonight. I specifically had a recipe I wanted to try for walleye, so These are perfect size for eating. So here's the trick. We got to try to get this guy on the stringer without killing our troll. So I'm going to keep pedaling here. This hook out of this guy's mouth. All right. I also don't want to get that hook in my leg. Come on. There we go. All right. Now, let's get this guy on the stringer while keeping your troll going. That's what makes it sporting here. I go through the top and the bottom. Not huge, but again, a good eater size. All right, we got 2 already. It's a good start. All right, good. There was a guy in a boat that was kind of stalking me because I think he saw me pulling a couple fish. It's pretty annoying. I mean, if you have a boat and you can't find your own walleye in June in Lake Erie, you're probably a pretty bad angler. Anyway, I don't like when people are all up in my business, you know? Part of the reason I come out on the water, honestly, besides putting food on the table and just loving fishing, is some of the solitude of it, you know, especially on days when you get out here and, you know, you're the only person on the lake. Anyway, let's catch 4 more. I don't know, you're teasing me a little bit, I can't tell. Yeah, got a good one on here. Let's get this guy in the boat. About 20 feet back. Come on. Come on. Alright, so I was running that crankbait lower, so head back there if we can. Keep moving, keep moving. Come here, buddy. Come on. Get in the net. Got him. Got him. Got him. Wish this thing had a front facing rod holder. That's what she said. Alright, how are we doing? Okay, we got one line out, so in pretty good shape here. Come here, guy. Come here, you don't like that. No, you don't. You inhaled that guy. Alright. Well, we got a little fight left in you. Alright, so get him on the stringer through the translucent top and then the bottom. And nice fish. Into the water you go. Let's try not to get this tangled up. I love these rubber nets that have the wide holes, especially on a kayak. It get real sketchy. Get all tangled up. All right, so we're in good shape here. Getting trolling again here. All right, we got 3. We need 3 more. I plan on doing a real nice walleye dish for dinner tonight. I love catching it fresh and, you know, cooking it on the same day. Whoa, something sunk that board. Wow. So I gotta go. This one here. Something hit that hard. I'm thinking that's gotta be a drum or a log. Gosh, I wonder if it took my... If that snapped me off. Gotta see what's going on down here, man. That was crazy. I think that might have been a log. That was very strange. Let's see what's going on here with this lure. If that was a fish, that's kind of surprising. Oh, it is a fish. Wow. It's still on there. That thing hit like a truck. Like sunk my planer board. Weird. That was not a big fish either. That was very strange. Hello, buddy. Alright, there's 4. I have no idea what just happened. That planer board sunk like I hooked into an alligator. That's like a very average walleye. Oh well. Very strange. Come here, buddy. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Come here. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. There we go. All right. Guy on the stringer. Oh, I'm going to get tangled up here, I can tell. Gosh darn it. Get these guys in the water. Get in the water. There he is. Get in there. All right, let's get moving here. I'm worried that I'm going to tangle. So I picked up this kayak on Facebook Marketplace, and the guy that sold it to me threw in this Lowrance Elite FS9 and a Dakota lithium battery. So it was a really nice deal. I got pretty much everything that I needed to get out here and get fishing. But anyway, I've now learned that this fish finder, which is gigantic for a kayak, draws a lot of power, and I just spent my battery, so I'm fishing blind now. So I'm gonna have to use the Force like Luke in Star Wars here to know where the fish are, how fast I'm going, and the water depth. Thankfully, I'm pretty familiar with these waters, so I know, kind of the landmarks, like general idea how deep the water is and stuff. So anyway, we only need 2 more walleye here for our limit, so hopefully we can find it even without a fish finder here. Josh, use the Force. Oh, fish on. Fish on. Well, hopefully this is keeper. Got a little pull to it. I think if it's a walleye, it'll be legal. If I can get this planer board off. All right. Let's see what we got here. This stupid hat makes it hard to see behind you. Oh yeah, comedy of errors right now. Big enough to eat. Cool. There's 5. Nothing huge today, but again, sometimes like 17-inch walleye are really good for eating. They haven't been in the lake too long. Don't have a lot of that crap like some of the bigger, older ones have ingested. I got this guy, one of these treble hooks in its gill, so he's gonna get torn up a little bit here. Right. See if I can get my lure free before I... There we go. Right, let's get this out of the boat. Get him on the stringer. There's a fish. Nice thing is I don't have a planer board on this one, so I don't have to worry about trying to fight a planer board and a fish. Feels okay. Hopefully it's legal size, and that'd be a number 6 if we can get it in the net. What do they say though? Don't count your chickens before they're hatched here. Most of these crankbaits, I replace the back hook with a really nice, treble hook. So they do a nice job. I'll probably lose this fish as I'm talking about how good of a job they do, but we'll see. Oh, this one's barely hooked. It's going to happen. I'm going to speak it into existence. Come here. Come here. Good. That's 6. Achi bachi. I got 6. Anyway, let's let out some slack on this line. If we can. All right. Let's get this guy in the stringer. So I use my little fish grabbers here. Comes a hands-free operation. Bad. All right, about 17 inches. Like I said, nothing huge, but good to eat. All right, I got one more reservation available here. Let's get this guy hooked up. Come here, buddy. And yep, through the top, through the bottom. Close it up, throw him in the water. All right, so hey, that's 6. Anyway, that's 6 walleye. There you go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start trolling in, and I'll keep my lines in the water, at least 2 of them, because sometimes on the way in I'll catch, a bigger walleye, and then I'll kind of swap out one of the smaller ones for one of the bigger ones. So we'll pretend like this is a post-game show here. I caught my 6 walleye. Nothing big, like most of them are like 17, 18, 19 inches big. But that's actually a really good size to eat. They're easy to clean. Feel like the meat's real delicious. So got my 6. Just to review kind of what we were working with today, I was running 3 lines with crankbaits. Most of my damage was on Salmo, I don't know how to say it. Free divers, they're called, and they dive very, very deep naturally. You don't have to add a snap weight or anything, which I kind of like. We were running a couple planer boards so that I could run 3 lines at a time, which is the legal amount of lines one person can run in Ohio. And I was trolling about 2 plus miles per hour here. The water temperature is pretty warm, so these fish are flying around. And I was kind of probably somewhere between 23 to 26 feet deep on my lures. And again, these Salmo free divers, really get down deep pretty easily, which is great. So anyway, I got my 6. I'm glad I did it earlier here because it is 10 o'clock and it is very hot out here. And so, really, it only took me about 2 hours or so to get my limit, which is a really good day out here on Lake Erie. This is kind of prime time during the summer here, June into July. Just the fishing is world class. So I try to get out here every morning I can, or every evening I can. I've been having a great season. The freezer is definitely well stocked. My family and I will be able to eat walleye from now until probably next summer, at least once, if not twice a week, with the amount of walleye that I've been putting away. All right, now it's time to meet your meat. I think a lot of people are very disconnected from where their sources of protein come from. So whether that's cow, chicken, beef, obviously fish, I think treating creatures in a humane way is important, and you want to try to reduce suffering. So anyway, my brother, Sensitive Steve, kind of says it best when he says, these fish had a really good life and one bad day. So anyway, I want to dispatch the fish and, kind of kill them as quickly as possible. So the way that I do that is grab them here. I just cut the gills, and they bleed out pretty quickly. So kind of one at a time here. Grab them, cut the gills, and you'll notice that they bleed a lot real fast. I think it's a fairly humane way to kill them. Basically the gills are the equivalent of our lungs, and just do it as quickly as possible. Say thank you for your life. Appreciate the protein. Appreciate the gains. I wasn't counting either. Hopefully I'll get them all. Okay. Anybody left here? Yep, there's one. There's 2. All right. One more? Or are you already taken care of? Can't tell. All right, let me see if they're all kind of bleeding out here. Yep. All right, anyway, that's how I dispatch them. I feel like it's probably one of the more humane and quick ways to do it. Just cut their gills out, let them bleed out. And also, a lot of people say it helps the quality of the meat. You'll have a whiter fish with they kind of bleed out on the way in here. So what I'm going to do now is head on in, get these fish on ice, and get them home and get them cleaned.